But the Pussycat Dolls were hardly an overnight sensation. In fact, their evolution began in the mid-1990s, far from any recording studio.
I just want to introduce to you the extraordinary Pussycat Dolls.
At that time, the Pussycat Dolls were straight up like classic burlesque show. Like something you'd see in a naval shipyard, you know? There was all classic music and classic dance structure and beautiful girls and burlesque costumes.
The campy show was the brainchild of California native Robin Antin. Born on July 6, 1961, Antin grew up in a bohemian home in LA's San Fernando Valley.
My mom is from England, and my father's from New York, and my father was in London. He was in the service, met my mother.
My father was an artist, and my mother was the vice president of production for Motown.
We have a crazy family, but a great family.
Robin and I and both my brothers all kind of got that Hollywood taste from very early on.
Being the only girl, I was a little bit of a tomboy. I was a really good skateboarder, and I was that kind of a girl.
But in 1970, Robin's home life came apart.
My parents got divorced when I was 9 years old, and we all lived with my mom, but I always had a really great relationship with my father.
Then, her dad moved 2,700 miles away to Florida.
I was always worried about my mom and that she wasn't going to be okay. I've always been the glue in my family that's trying to hold everyone together and keep the brothers from fighting and keep the parents from fighting.
Robin's mother made sure her daughter kept busy.
My mother had her in just about every type of dance known to mankind. Ballet and tap and jazz.
I used to make Jonathan come to dance class with me.
Robin would say, "Jonathan, come here. Everybody watch. Jonathan's going to show us how to break dance." She'd put me up on the stage and she'd go, "Okay, go." And then I would go, "Okay, all quick now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
In 1976, the Antin family went through another major change. Robin's parents got back together.
I remember the moment that my father drove up in his little white Fiat, Dad's home. It was really amazing, after 6 years, him coming home was such an amazing, special moment in my life. And they got remarried, and they're still together to this day, and it's pretty amazing. It's definitely something that makes you believe anything can happen.
With her newfound optimism, 21-year-old Robin decided to turn her passion for dance into a career. But her teachers at the Dupree Academy in Hollywood didn't approve.
I would go on dance auditions while I was on scholarship, which was not allowed. And I was like, but I feel so ready, I remember my teachers looking at me like, shame on you, this is bad, you're never going to work as a dancer.
Antin was determined to find out for herself. 2 months short of graduation, she quit school and quickly got hired to dance in a string of music videos and TV commercials. She also moved into a house with another dancer, married with children's star Christina Applegate.
We hit it off just amazingly well right off the bat. She had a dance studio in her garage, a very, very small, tiny little dance studio. That's basically where the first company of Pussycat Dolls started.
Robin began choreographing new routines in Applegate's garage.
I had something in me that I was not getting from a lot of these jobs that I was doing. It's almost like I wasn't fulfilled. And I would put in all the old, musicals that I was really into, and I would just start to kind of come up with all these different cool little pieces of choreography. I finally decided I'm going to put this on a stage somewhere.
Antin's friends were more than willing to be her guinea pigs.
I'd bring down the costumes, and I'd be like, okay, you put this on, and you put this on, and let's do your hair like this, and let's do your makeup like this.
In December 1995, Robin and Christina took a break and flew to Hawaii for some R&R. While on vacation, Antin made an important connection with Christina's pal, Shannon McManus.
I sat on the beach with Robin, and she was telling me that she was a choreographer, what she did, and I told her that I managed the Viper Room. And I just said, hey, when we get back to LA, I'm going to introduce you to Dean R. Miller. He runs this retro 40s martini night.
Shannon said, why don't you get with Dean and perform? Because they were always looking for some kind of cool act, like a crooner or, something to kind of fit within that time.
Located on the famed Sunset Strip, the Viper Room was co-owned by actor Johnny Depp.
The original idea behind the Viper Room, I think, for Johnny, was he wanted to recreate an old nightclub from 30s, 40s Hollywood.
Dean R. Miller, he's the Sultan of Swoon. He's taken Thursdays and turned them into this wild kind of martini ride.
The entire staff dressed 20s, 30s, 40s. All the girls did their hair really 20s with red lipstick. We wore the dresses, the shoes.
Cocktails, martinis, stingers, sidecars, great music.
One afternoon, Robin and her girls arranged to swing by the club.
Johnny Depp happened to be there. He's like, hot as ever. And we were all dying like, oh God, it's Johnny Depp. And he said, I would love for you guys to perform here.
Anton was thrilled. Now all she needed was to come up with a name nobody would forget.
It was probably over a good week of just writing down all these different names. The Dolls, the LA Dolls, the Pussycats. I had like a million different names.
Robin couldn't make up her mind, so she called her older brother for help.
I remember Steve said, what about the Pussycat Dolls? And when he said that, I just was, completely like, oh my God. Oh my God, is that it? This is it. I hung up the phone and I was like, Christina, oh my God, we have a name. The Pussycat Dolls have been born.